Doing.
Why am I doing what I'm doing? I mean the teaching part.
I know. Yes. Yeah,
um,
teaching, of course, teaching.
well, the teaching part is, I think I have some calling for transmission. Before teaching workshops of conscious dance, I used to teach at high school. And the context of high school didn't really work for me. But I loved being in connection with teenagers and trying to be a resource for them, helping them understand things, find things for themselves. So I think that calling has been pretty deep in me. The other reason for doing it in the context of the dance is that I find it magical. As a teacher, I'm a witness of people who were feeling shy and awkward and stuck. And then, at some point, suddenly their soul starts shining through their dance. And this feeds my soul. It's a blessing. I saw one of my students, I think, who started dancing 3 years ago at a class, and she was just radiant. And at the end, I went like, wow, I had a flashback of you at your first workshop in a corner, really kind of terrified. And so to have the privilege to open those kinds of doors for people is amazing. And for me, there's also, I think each of us as a teacher has specific things that touch us. For me, there's something that I would call the uncovering of your own truth that really just goes straight to my bones and straight to my soul. And when I see someone finally allow themselves to open and touch a part of themselves that they've been running away from for years, and they find that, that it has its dance. And even if they consider it an ugly part of themselves, in a way, the dance of ugliness is beautiful in its truth, in its authenticity. And it's not just, I'm not just being new agey. Yeah. Not like, oh yeah, it's like, what a beautiful pile of shit. It's not that, because it doesn't look like a pile of shit. It looks like a black diamond. It's like blackness carved into a diamond. And that kind of alchemy, is what I thrive on.
It's real.
It's really, and in leading groups, there are magical things that happen in the group, on the collective dimension, where suddenly I know the moment in the workshop when I tell my assistants, I go, oh, we've got a group. We had people, now we've got a group, and there's a group journey. And that's one of the great reasons to come to a workshop, is because the group journey will feed each person's journey through that workshop in a very powerful way.
Yeah, we can enrich each other
Yeah.
over and over.
Yeah.
Great, thank you.
Yeah. You'll enrich each other, you'll challenge each other, you'll love each other. Yeah. All of that.
Yeah. Another question. What was the greatest nonsense you believed in, and what made you change it?
So, I think the most painful nonsense I believed in was that I was not fit for this world. I was not made for this world. And each of us, carries in a way a certain quality of wound, what we call sometimes it's called the mother wound in some of the spiritual teachings. And that's my mother wound. It's I don't belong here. I don't belong here. I don't know how I got here, but this is a mistake. And it's a belief that I have to remind myself over and over again that it's not true. And the journey I've taken through the dance has again and again brought me to a place where I belong in the context of the dance, and also in a way to a place where belonging in the sense of having my place in a group is not even relevant anymore, because I belong because I am.
Mm-hmm.
And it's probably one of the most difficult things for me to, probably for anyone, to put into words.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a great paradox when,
Mm-hmm.
you know, when your soul is the part of you that is mostly present, when you're fully connected
Mm-hmm.
to this moment, when you're actually just in this moment,
Mm-hmm.
there is no need for justification of any kind, because I just am, and I am with, and there is not even a question that I belong here. That question has dissolved.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's, for me, it's been both. It's been, okay, there's a place where I know that question will dissolve and the pain will dissolve with it. And there's also a way that I can learn to bring that back, you know, down that double spiral, bring that grace back down through my body, through my being, into this embodiment, this incarnation, this life, and learn to find a place also in the material world, in the human world.
Beautiful, beautiful. Great explanation. The last question: When was the last time someone inspired you, and who was it?
So the last time that someone inspired me was actually being inspired by one of my students, one of my long-term students and long-term friends, who was on the first open floor teacher training and is now an open floor teacher. And for the first time last week, I was able to go to her class. And I had a blast, you know. I just dove in and had amazing dances and followed her guidance and felt, you know, both proud and humbled and fulfilled by the experience.
Great. So it's like when we give something, we receive back. And
yeah. And there's, you know, there's something of nourishing a seed in someone, and you see it and you know it, even when they don't. And then suddenly you see that tree or that flower grow and expand and find its beauty. And that's
nice.
Yeah, that's inspiring.